Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BSV TV. I'm your host Satoshi, and on this show we'll be defending the one and only, truly genuine Bitcoin. The Bitcoin that Satoshi Nakamoto designed in his white paper as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system for the world. Let's get the disclaimers out of the way. So all the statements that you hear on this show are opinion and must only ever be taken as opinion. They are never to be taken as any form of advice, family, financial, sexual or otherwise. And on that note, let's sit back, relax, have some fun and enjoy the show. Get paid for your content in Bitcoin and set your own fee on Streamanity.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I wasn't asked why I'm convinced. Craig is Satoshi. I posted on Reddit. He signed in my presence using the private key from block number one, the very first mined Bitcoin block, on a computer that I'm convinced had not been tampered with, on software I'm convinced that had not been tampered with, a message of my choosing.
At InChain, we've just funded a number of universities doing, so far, a test up to 1 gigabyte because it validates what we've already done independently. We've tested up to 380 gigabyte blocks. We've tested 1 million transactions a second and transaction sizes up to 20 megabytes. Super complex scripts, basically ones that can run operating systems. That's all of global commerce times about 50. On top of that, we can have complex scripts. On top of that, we can scale each of those transactions 1,000 times, which effectively means about 1 billion transactions per second, which means we can then have all derivatives, all complex trades. That means high frequency trading. It means everything that happens globally.
Is the market that effectively BSV is going for, is that global e-commerce, which is currently valued at $29 trillion?
No, that's too small.
Buy and sell Bitcoin instantly at bsvgravity.com. And you can now book and pay for your winter holiday at skibsv.com. Good afternoon, everybody. It looks like we are live at 5, rocking and rolling. Everything's in the green kilobytes per second. Great stuff. Let's crack on with it. So I've noticed that my dropped frames generally tend to cut out after about 45 minutes. So basically means I need to crack on with the show. So let's go. So for any newbies tuning in, the reason we broadcast on Twitch is because YouTube tried to took down 2 of my channels. Then they were preventing me from editing my shows. Then they were deleting episodes. And I was like, you know what? This is absolutely ridiculous. They don't seem to mind anybody shilling all these shit coins like BTC and BCH and Ethereum and XRP and Neo and Tron and all that kind of crap. But when it comes to promoting the genuine Bitcoin and giving people all the knowledge that they need about it, no. Can't be having that. Even if the shows only get 50 views. Shut that man down. Never. I will never be stopped. I will always find a way. So let's crack on, which is my my opening screen here. So this is basically Bitcoin, and this is what we're talking about. But let me just, I was looking at this earlier, just because I'm getting into my history here. Check this out. So this is to do with just the history of money, just slightly. When this comes up. Check it out. So it says here, since the ancient times, gold was used to store value, exchange value and measure value. As trade increased, it became difficult to carry gold from one place to another, both because it was heavy and also it was attracting thieves. China invented paper money during the Tang dynasty that ruled between 618 and 907. And they used this currency for a long time before it found its way to other countries. I mean, yeah, that was a long time ago, using paper money. And it says, in the West, Sir Isaac Newton, master of the British Mint, established a fixed price for 1 ounce of gold. Approximately 31 grams is £3, 17 shillings, which was 10.5 pence. So gold standard in England has started. Until World War I, except during Napoleonic Wars, England converted pounds into gold. London was the major centre of finance in the world. And I do believe that was 1639. Let's just check this. Isaac Newton, mint 1639, was it? Let's have a look. Okay, Isaac Newton, Warden and Master of the Royal Mint for 1696 to 1727. Alright, interesting. Here we go. I often wondered who that was on the old £10 notes. Now we know. So Isaac Newton was appointed Warden of the Royal Mint in the spring of 1696 on the recommendation of Charles Montague, Chancellor of the Exchequer. Public office was new to him, but nevertheless it was an opportunity which he had sought. The Montague letter of 19th of March 1969 notified him of the King's promise of the vacant post of Warden would not have been unwelcome. All right, yeah. I mean, it was yeah. I mean, we went through the story there. I'll have to find it, but there we go. So that was British. Well, yeah, the money being backed by gold, and it was money being backed by gold that eventually led onto this, which we went through the other day. And this was when the United States government demanded, well, actually it wasn't the government at all. There's me getting it wrong again. It was actually the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is a private entity, nothing to do with government. In fact, it pays the government, which is really quite scary. So when you're thinking, when you say, oh, you know, the Federal Reserve, you know, money has to be separate from the state and it has to be separate from the government, because otherwise, you know, they wouldn't be able to control themselves because greed and all that. But that means you're putting money printing in the hands of a private organisation. You know, and if you put, I mean, literally, it's a criminal's wet dream, getting their hands on the printing presses for the nation. I mean, can you imagine? That's literally every criminal's dream. What do you do for a living? Oh, I print my own money. You know, I mean, it's absolutely insane. But one of the reasons they wanted people to, you know, drop their gold in was because that they knew the value of gold was going to absolutely skyrocket once they got the money printers going brrr, and printing all this money. So they were like, no, we can't have the demand for gold going up because it will just simply undermine the printing of our money. And we want everybody to use that. You know, I mean, really, they had the world by the short and curlies because they had the gold after, particularly after World War II, because gold was pretty much used as the medium for international exchange. So then after they got all the gold from all the countries from after World War II, then they were just like, right, well, in fact, it was the Bretton Woods Act just after the Second World War in 1944, where they were just like, right, we've got your gold, we know you want it, but tell you what we'll do, you use our dollars, yeah, and it's our dollars that are going to be redeemable for gold. And you're just going to have to take our word for it because we were the ones that bailed you out, yeah? Without us, you wouldn't be here. You know, we won the war for you, but I mean, to be honest with you, they probably wouldn't have come in if it wasn't for Pearl Harbor anyway. So I suppose, we've got to thank the Japanese for that. You know, but I mean, the more I look back at history, the more I can see that all the events they're just like all the events in history are to do with money. All to do with money. Money is just simply so destructive. Because it's, well, the central control of money is unbelievably destructive. You know, that's why Bitcoin is so important. And as we mentioned in the images the other day, as Voltaire said, paper money eventually returns to its intrinsic value, which is zero. And he said this, I think it was just shortly after Isaac Newton became Master of the Mint. Let me just remind myself again. Hold on. Voltaire. Oh, Voltaire. Money zero. Oh, 1729 he said that. Just what were the dates again? So that was 1729. And Isaac Newton Mint. What was this? So Isaac Newton was a Warden and Master of the Royal Mint from 1696 to 1727. And Voltaire said that 2 years afterwards in 1729. Paper money returns to its intrinsic value. 0. Oh my goodness. And to be honest with you, like there hasn't ever really been a commodity that could be used as money up until now. And as we now know, blockchain creates immutable data. Immutable data means that we can have sovereignty over that data because no single central power has the power to delete it, which means we can then own it. And the power to delete it actually comes from economic power. That's the whole point. So now you combine immutable data with the dilution and distribution of economic power. And that's the difference between a security and a commodity. A commodity is something that is common to everybody. So anyway, talking about power control, my usual listeners are now going to hear what I normally tell people, in the fact that the Federal Reserve, who have had been able to get away with printing all the money all the money that they wanted in the world, causing all this shit, causing wars and like everything. Honestly, I think they're behind absolutely everything. Doing off-balance sheet transactions of trillions of dollars. Absolutely unbelievable. So they have unlimited funds. So basically, they're going to put unlimited funds towards stopping anything that might prevent them from being able to print as much as they want or undermine and do whatever they want. Which is why when Blockstream came along, a group of developers emerged who were funded to the tune of $100 million by institutions who have got suspiciously close links to the Federal Reserve. And they were told to make sure that Bitcoin didn't work. So the first thing they did is they compromised the system. They compromised the integrity by segregating those signatures and telling people, don't use it, not many use it, store of value, replaced by fee, all of this shit, 1 megabyte restriction, censorship resistant money. So anyway, we are now going to listen to Samson Mao, who is the Chief Strategy Officer at Blockstream, in an interview with Simon Dictwit and Max Kaiser, and they were talking about a BTC. So let's see what he says about BTC in this clip. Here we go.
Bitcoin was created by the central bankers that enslave you today. It is their scapegoat.
How do you answer those, Max and Stacey?
I think the evidence is clear that they do not control it. There's 10 years, almost 11 years now of track record.
Yeah,
Blockstream controls it.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Who does?
Blockstream.
Oh,
all right.
I was looking at you when I said that.
Yeah, I'm a Blockstream. I have a spy. I'm one of the spies. No, so this, it's an interesting. Now that there's.
Yes, Max. It is an interesting now that there's a. And this is what these shitcoiners with shit for brains just don't understand, which is why it's worth repeating on every show and just reminding ourselves of how ridiculous the situation is. BTC is cool coin. It's an absolute piece of shit because Blockstream control it. And when I asked them if this was true, they said he was joking. So I said, if he's joking, why is it factually correct? No answers. Funny that, isn't it, really? People haven't got an answer for you with a genuine question. What, have I offended you with that question? You can't give me a straight answer? So anyway, now that we know that Michael Saylor doesn't know that Blockstream control BTC, let's have a listen to what he says about Bitcoin after studying the white paper. Here we go.
I like Bitcoin the way it is. In fact, I love Bitcoin the way it is. And the way it's currently constructed, it is possible to put all $250 trillion of monetary energy in big blocks of encrypted energy on the blockchain maybe the Bitcoin will be $1 million. You can probably calculate $10 million of Bitcoin or something. Big blocks, $100 million chunks on the blockchain. It'll store all the monetary energy in the world, and it should store it for the next 100 years without losing any of it. If Bitcoin's going to fail, it's not going to fail due to lack of functionality or lack of speed or lack of scalability. In my opinion, if Bitcoin is going to fail, it's going to fail because of it loses trust and security. We have to protect the network integrity at all costs.
Yes, we do, Michael. And what do you think all the shenanigans about the chain splitting has been about? Like, seriously. You think people were just simply going to make their own projects up and stuff like that? No. It's all about protecting the integrity of the chain. If a group of developers are going to F around with Bitcoin, they're going to tamper with the signatures, which is what Blockstream did first of all, and then Roger Ver and his crony mates did shortly afterwards. And they crashed their, like, total shitcoin to zero. And if you don't believe me, have a listen to what Roger Ver said in his interview about Bcrash. Here we go.
I have a question here from Satoshi, defender of Bitcoin. He said, if a cryptocurrency is anonymous, like BCH, I don't think BCH is anonymous, but maybe there is something.
Check out cashfusion.com and you combine that with reusable payment codes and you get Bitcoin Cash in the same sort of ballpark of privacy as Monero. It's really awesome. So you can check out Cashfusion. And I always get it wrong. I think it's .com, but it might be .org. So you can check both. Cashfusion.com.
Okay, awesome. So BCH, maybe using Cash Fusion and XMR, if they're anonymous, how can a business get legal recourse against a supplier if the supplier defaults and no proof on the transaction exists because anon?
Yeah, if you want your cryptocurrency to be perfectly legal for everything all the time, just go use your Visa card. Just go use your PayPal, right? What do you need a cryptocurrency for? You can do all of it with a centralized, fully legal and fully compliant payment platform, right? So go use PayPal. I think you've missed the entire point. The entire point of cryptocurrencies is that by technological design, they are beyond the reach of the law.
Wrong.
They're above the law. That's why, imagine if Bitcoin could have been shut down by governments, they probably would have shut it down from right out of the gate. And it's the fact that Bitcoin can't be shut down.
No, it's because they need an excuse to shut it down, which you are giving them, Roger, because you're a fool.
We should ask the BSVers this. If they pass a law saying BSV needs to shut down their blockchain, are they going to obey and shut down their BSV blockchain?
Yes, if it's harming society, you fool.
I hope the answer would be no, which is just, a lot of the stuff I see from some of these BSVers are silly.
Roger, you're so silly.
But then there's other BSV fans that, I'm very, very sympathetic to their way of thinking. But
Derek McGill.
The ones that say that the blockchains all need to be legally compliant about everything all the time, just go use your Visa card.
Thanks, Roger, I will, because I wouldn't touch Bcrash with a barge pole. So there we go. Now, we're now just going to have a watch. We'll just have a look at this CoinCrack market. Here we go. Bring this up. So again, I'll go through this in every show because you just need to realize that only Bitcoin, which is BSV, is a commodity. Well, Litecoin is a commodity, but Charlie Lee exit scammed the shit out of Litecoin because he knew it was a piece of shit because he created it, which is your central point of authority, control and influence from the very beginning, which doesn't solve the paradox of the centralized starting point. So let's have a listen to what Charlie Lee says about his coin. Here we go.
You created Litecoin, right? So this has to be something like you're incredibly passionate about.
Yeah, as most of you probably know, I kind of created it just for fun, right? Didn't really expect it to become anything.
No, I didn't know that, Charlie, but I do now, thanks for telling me. Right, now let's compare his expectations of his creation to that of Satoshi Nakamoto and Bitcoin. Here we go.
At the end of the day, we own a lot of Bitcoin. The simple thing is, if we make the network scale, if we make it bigger, my main compensation, more than anything anyone could ever pay me, is the price of Bitcoin goes up. So that's my pure drive. I want Bitcoin not to go up to 10,000 or 100,000. I want it to be worth millions per Bitcoin.
So do I. There we go. There we go. Right, let's crack on with these figures. I haven't seen these yet. Just want to keep my show kind of like as brief as possible. But it's always worth just reminding ourselves of the intro, because that intro is worth billions. Billions and billions. Like literally. You know, that information there is what no other shitcoin anywhere in the space is talking about. Because I was the first and seem to be the only one that has ever mentioned or should we say defined the paradox of the centralized starting point. That is my bag. You heard it here first. I'm the only one talking about the fundamentals, because all of these shitcoiners are all about number go up, of which we've seen it's just coming down in a minute. Oh, look at this. Oh, $161. Oh, as soon as it touches that like one, yeah, in the 150 range, like that's my buy zone. I need my money coming in. I needed my money coming in. Oh my goodness. So anyway, let's. So again, I'm not bothered about these shitcoins whatsoever, because I'm only interested in the politics, which shows us like basically like the utility and what's coming. So we've got Bitcoin 0.4% of the hash rate, 2.1% of the nodes, 38.5% of the transactions. Yes, ahead of Corecoin, getting there slowly. And 61.6% of the block size. Smashing Corecoin out the water. That's more like it. I wonder what's causing that. All right. Let's do some investigations. Whoa, look at this. A 63 megabyte block from Tal. Smashing it. And another one, like a 35 megabyte block. These shitcoins can't get anywhere near it. Big data rolling in. That's what we like. Like big waves, being able to surf them into the shore. Loving that. That is my number go up. That's what I'm talking about. Shitcoiners wouldn't have a clue what that means, or the significance of that. I mean, that's massive. That's massive. We'll have to see what made that. So let's just play spot the biggest block on B Crash. I can see a 1.9, 2.6 megabytes. Congratulations to them on B Crash. I don't normally get that. Oh, another 2.6. I mean, look at that. And we've got a 63. I mean, absolutely hilarious. You know, if you're an investor, if you're anything other than a shitcoiner with shit for brains, yeah, these are the numbers you'd be looking at. It's so funny. Honestly, like the level of dumbness in the crypto space is like something I've never witnessed before. It is raw. It's literally all of society coming in, you know, throwing their hat in the ring, trying to be a part of it, and it's just like, oh my god, I've just never. I mean, literally, the dumbness is beyond what any relatively intellectual person could possibly comprehend or even imagine. You know, even I find it hard. I'm just like, people can't be this dumb, like surely. But I've just had to accept it that they are. And when you understand that people are this dumb, you know, when you're looking at the prices going up and down, suddenly they make more sense. You're just like, wow, you lot are effing dumb as F. Absolutely hilarious. So, Michael, if you're watching my show, because I know you will one day, all you need to do is look at the data going through on the BTC blockchain. You are never, ever getting big blocks coming your way on that piece of shit, because it is centrally controlled by Blockstream and their paymasters don't want it, which means it is never gonna happen. The only way big blocks are gonna happen is if the network is maintained by those who want to grow it and increase it in value, which is what Satoshi Nakamoto wants to do on his genuine Bitcoin, which is BSV. So yeah, that's pretty good. 63 megabyte block. Looking forward to seeing the hash rates now. So we've got Bitcoin hash rate by network. Yeah, yada yada. So again, price just simply follows value, which follows utility, because once it has utility, it can then establish a value, and when it establishes a value, it can then generate a price, and when it generates a price, it can then be used to be measured against the cost of other goods and services and be used as a medium of exchange. There we go. Proof of work by network, again, Corecoin B Crash will just stop one day. Bcrash versus Bitcoin hash rate. Bcrash versus Bitcoin proof of work. That's more like it. It is 30,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin. That is fundamental value. Again, shitcoiners wouldn't have a clue what we're looking at or even understand the significance of what we're witnessing here. Not a clue. It's currently 1.2% more profitable to mine on SV. Look at this. Daily average Bitcoin block size by network. Yes. Having some... I mean, I'm wondering what's caused this. Has this been like, you know, transaction banking, data banking? I mean, yeah, it's the 27th of January. You know what? We'll have to look on the charts because I wonder if this is like EHR data or something like that. That would be interesting to see. Looking forward to that already. Daily Bitcoin transactions by network. Oh, what? Coolcoin just winning. Daily average Bitcoin transactions per block by network. Coolcoin just winning. Daily average Bitcoin fees by network. Bitcoin smashing it. Fees Satoshis. Bitcoin smashing it. Block reward ratio again. That's just simply going to come with time because it follows price, which follows value, which follows utility. So it's utility first. So it's utility, value, then price. As price is the last thing to move, which means it is the least thing that matters, or the least of all things that matters. Blockchain growth by network, just laughing at Roger Ver and his mates. Absolute shit for brains, no clue whatsoever. Global hash rate 7 days. Binance up there this week. Oh, come on, CoinDart, seriously, why do you do this to me? Come on. Right, global hash rate 24 hours. Antpool and Binance pushing BTC.com and pooling right the way down in 4, 5, 7th. Is that 3, 4, 5, 6th? Good grief. Let's look at Coolcoin. Antpool and Binance loving a bit of Coolcoin at the moment. Bcrash again with these shitcoin enterprises on it, absolutely hilarious. And Hathor on there doing like for no other reason other than spite, absolutely hilarious, making it less profitable for those who do mine that piece of shit. But look at this. This is Bitcoin. Look, we've got the Mac Daddies on there, F2 Pool Pooling and BTC.com. Hathor's still on there, Mempool, Norpool. Actually, I wonder if they mined any big blocks. And, I wonder if it's just Tau. Let's have a quick look. Let's just have a look, see these big blocks. Let's see if we can find Mempool, Norpool. They've got 2.2. That's a small one. It's just Tau. Wow. Tau, yeah. Both Tau blocks. We'll have to see what the fees were in those. They are big. Right, we're gonna have a look at that right now. Let's do it. Bitcoin blocks live. This is what we want. So we've got a chart. Let's have a quick look at this. Oh, whoa! Let's have a look. Is that also Anne? So we've still got Predict Ecology and Anne up there. Peer Games and TDXP app. TDXP app with 110,000 transactions. Twitch 90,000. That's going up. Wow. Air Quality Index. Good to see them back. Metanet 14,000 transactions. Centbee is by far the biggest wallet. Look, they're above. Centbee are above Money Button, and Money Button is Money Button is like global. Centbee is just like concentrated in South Africa. Wow, I mean they are macking it. They are macking it. Good to see Koala Mint up there as well. 23 transactions. More than Weather SV. Wow. I wonder if we can find out who it was that was generating those big transactions. So for any newbies watching, we've got the transaction count here per second in the top right hand corner. Again, I've seen this as high as 3,000 transactions a second. Below that, we've got those the organizations who are generating those transactions, followed by the transaction ID, the input, the output, the type, and the op return. Once the transactions are recognized by the nodes on the network, they're then thrown into the meme pool, which is when they are there competed for by miners and payment processors in order to create a block, put them in the block, store the block on the blockchain, where they then win the Coinbase, which is the block reward of currently 6.25 Bitcoin. I mean, let's have a look at this. So we've got 63 megabyte block. So we're in the highlighted rectangular box below that, where you've got the hash of that block. We've got the height. Oh, let's just move that across again. Who it was mined by, the size, the time, the date, the transaction counts. There were 15,000 transactions in that block, with total fees of $13.93. I wonder. Can we? The hash number of the block. What's on chain? Let's see this. You know, I've never clicked on that button before. What return miner ID? 50. Oh, so they're the transaction. They're all the total transactions in the block. 1,509. Yeah. Look, transaction count. You got 15,000 and 86. So, okay, yeah. So it's kind of like rounded down. So they've got that would be 15,090. So yeah, like 1 point. Yeah, they just rounded it down rather than to the 1,000s rather than the tens of. So I wonder if there's any way of telling which transaction had the largest amount of data in, or if they all had large data in. Let's have a quick look. Small transactions. I'm just looking for who might have generated that block. Yeah, we know what block it was. Yeah, I don't really have a clue what I'm looking at there. Like I said, not techie fundamentals. Could do with somebody explaining that to me. Script public key. All right. Something's going on. Something is cooking. Yes, indeed. Wow. All right. Let's have a quick look at BitInfo charts then. Here we go. Again, you can see all the shitcoins that you can compare across the top. The only one we're interested in is Bitcoin. So actually, I mean, there's usually a homepage you can go to that has lots of various different metrics on it. But actually, we'll just have a quick look at Bitcoin and see. Price USD. Hold on one sec. Charts, that's the one where you can click at. So if you click on charts, it just gives you these little pie charts here, so you can, just kind of compare metrics. So it'll be interesting to look at these very soon, because Bitcoin SV is going to absolutely smash all of these shitcoins out of the water, like literally. So we're just going to have a look at average transactions per hour. We'll go to log. 3 years. Take Dojax, that's a piece of crap. We'll add in Bitcoin because that's the only one we're interested in. And we'll obviously add Bcrash for lols. Oh, we've got a different color this time because we're transactions in 24 hours. But look, this green one here, this is Bitcoin. I mean, look at that. So, I mean, again, you know, investors, you know, if you're not looking at, if you don't spend all day looking at price like these effing numpties, these like shit for brain traders, God, they're absolute parasites. Absolute parasites. They're doing nothing. They don't add to the network. In fact, they detract away from the value. All they do is take value away. Selfish Fs, like literally just trying to channel Bitcoin out of the pockets of other small-time traders who shouldn't be trading anyway, and into their own pockets. And as we know, Bitcoin only becomes more valuable the more and more people start using it. The only thing traders are doing are pumping and dumping, trying to manipulate it into their own pockets. I hope they lose. That's all I can say to that. Let's have a quick look at the shitcoin market. So on that note, we'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed the show. And as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there. Joy given. Catch you later. Get your tweet etched on Twitch, forever on the Bitcoin blockchain. Do it today at www.jointwitch.com. BuyBSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online. Get paid for your content in Bitcoin and watch the full episode on Streamanity for just 20 cents. Go to www.satoshi.tv. See the link in the description below. Bitcoin, one world, one chain.
Yeah! One vision.